Today, from London, England, it's the NFL International Series on EA Sports. We'll see Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And here come the Saints, about to begin their first possession. And the man in charge of this offense, his 8th season now in the NFL, former #1 pick, Jameis Winston.
It was terrible to see Jameis Winston suffer his torn ACL last season because he had the Saints rolling in his first year running the show in New Orleans. They went 5-2 in his starts, and they were just 4-6 after he was injured. And how about this? He only threw 3 interceptions, really addressing the big concern people had from his time as a starter in Tampa. New Orleans, they plan to roll with him for a second season and hope that last year's performance will carry over in a full season.
Jameis going to look to throw right away. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They run it again with Kamara. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Jameis to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
Winston to give. It's Kamara. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. They'll try to throw now. Winston. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Cousins. Over the middle, complete. That's Smith. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out and give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up 1st downs.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Cousins now. And that is incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Here's second and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing is Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
K.J. Osborne with the first down grab in the Minnesota Vikings organization. They're all eager to see exactly what they have in him because he came out of nowhere in 2021 with 50 catches and 7 touchdowns after not catching a pass as a rookie in 2020. He certainly earned a chance to be in the team's top 3, and they want to see if he can build on those numbers from 2021.
So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 48-yard line. Back to the ground. Cook. Down to about the 45.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 45 on second down, Cousins to the right side and complete to Jefferson. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Fourth down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph for Minnesota. From the right hash, this from 48. The kick by Joseph is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Joseph now to kick this one away. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. The first time out, they had the interception. That stopped their drive 3 points the other way, so now they work from behind.
They do, but he's got to walk out on the field like he's working from ahead. All right, he's got to walk out like, hey, I just threw a touchdown pass because all eyes on his team are on him. They gain their confidence from the way he reacts, his demeanor, and how he plays. He's got to show that he has confidence in himself.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston, and he's got the hook up to Landry. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Kamara up the middle. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Winston now. Open man is the tight end Troutman. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Cousins. And he wisely will throw that one away. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 19 yards that time for number 19.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Cook up the gut. Room here to run. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 61 yards. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The New Orleans offense set to take over. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They go play action. Winston. Sliding out of the pocket. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play with one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 52 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the 1st quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
Winston. And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. 1st down.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
Running the jet sweep, Landry. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On second down, Kamara. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. To throw, Winston. Buying time to his left. Open man is Michael Thomas. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was 3rd down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to 1st down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way, and they built that up here in the early going. Now, that leaves the opposition with a 1st down. That's a mistake you don't want to make at this point in the game.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
From the 27, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. First down. Here's Cousins. And this one complete to Smith.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? Three-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Cousins to throw it. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his second touchdown here in this first half, as his guys are able to extend their lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Joseph on for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. That time a 6-play drive, and it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fields it right around the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield and get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. First down, Winston. And Thomas has it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Kamara gets it again on second down. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Winston now from the 50. Escaping the pressure. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
Zadarius Smith switched teams, but never left the NFC North, going from Green Bay to Minnesota in the offseason. Had a back injury in 2021, but 26 sacks in 2 seasons as a Packer prior to that.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. To throw is Winston. He'll get, and he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. He's got room at the 30. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He'll start with a give to Kamara. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Winston. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Winston. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 101 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Cook. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. They run it again with Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings continue to pull away here in this first half. So what a first half that he has had running the football. That now 3 touchdown runs.
And I would anticipate that when they get down in the red zone, he's going to get more chances as this game goes on. And I think that the guys blocking for him are going to ask for him to get more chances. They like the rhythm they've developed.
Joseph on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Now Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if finally we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Winston.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Throwing, Winston. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man.
This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Off the play fake, Winston. He'll air it out deep for Thomas.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Here's Winston. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Play fake. Winston. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted.
It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with a tackle.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. To throw, Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5. And now it's 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Now Cousins. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he will have a Vikings 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins.
Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the 1st half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Cousins now from the 50. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Cousins.
Complete. Jefferson the target. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 35. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 119 yards for him on the ground now and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 12-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Up the middle, it's Cook. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph for Minnesota. Joseph's got it, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they got the turnover and were able to drive it down, Charles, but ultimately in the end, the defense holds up, and they only come away with the 3 points.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of ground, but when they had to, they settled in and prevented the interception from leading to 6 points. Because you never want to see turnovers turn into any type of points against you, but better to give up 3 than 6.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at their own 28-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Kamara. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Winston.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Jameis now on 1st down. He stiff arms him.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Jameis to throw it. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 28. A gain there of 21 yards.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. On 1st and 10, Winston forced out to his left.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now Winston. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. He'll find Thielen working the middle. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. It's caught. Smith. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop him with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there. It could turn into a big gain downfield, but what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he's got this to Jefferson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. And I believe they buzz down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Now here's the call.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stands.
On
on 1st and 10. Cousins.
And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Taken in at the 3. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Well, the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they've got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
On play action, Cousins.
Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A good pickup there at 22.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
They go play action. Cousins.
That is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Cousins now. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 25-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down and 4, Cousins. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook.
And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Saints will have the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at their own 18. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
2nd and 7 from the 20.
To throw, Winston. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available and incompletion as a result.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Winston now. That's complete to his running back, Kamara.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Winston to give. It's Kamara. 85 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Winston to the right side and complete to Thomas.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Winston now from the 50. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The fumble on first down. Now here's 2nd down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, 58, here we go. 58's the right. I smell fear in that offense.
On play action, Winston. Looking long for Thomas. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive.
58's Mike, 58.
To throw is Winston. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback. But maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 11.
He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
I don't think you got it, son. 56. Mike.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And his throw here's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Hey, Mike 20, Mike 20. Let's make these
Working out of the gun, Cousins.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
The Vikings send out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Winston. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And he is going to have a Saints 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Winston now to throw on 1st down.
Going right back to Michael Thomas. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And the Vikings will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Steps away. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, Mike 20, Mike 20.
To throw is Cousins. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Cousins to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
To the air again, it's Cousins.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 40. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. Play fake. Cousins.
That one thrown away from the pocket. And the officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Now Cousins. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, but that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here as this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Winston.
Olave holds it in.
And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. 1st down.
Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 22, Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Here's Winston. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there on the sack to bring up 2nd and goal.
Safety blitz, such a fun play call to witness when it works. And the deep man can get home for a sack. Great timing by him. Interception earlier in this contest. Now a sack. He's definitely campaigning for Player of the Week honors, isn't he, partner?
Second and goal from the 6 this time. Throwing, Winston. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Here's Winston. And it's caught. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. Kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag?
I was just going to say
get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Welcome back now here in London. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll try the middle with Cook. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
On second down, it's Cook again. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Cook again.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Cousins. And, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Running for it, here's Cook. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
They run again on first down. Cook. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Well, the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And now 3rd and goal following incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now Cousins. It's caught on the right side at Smith. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Nice completion, nice gain.
Great tackle.
Really good tackle. Kept him in bounds, kept things going. What do you do here?
That's the question. Let's see what they do. Trying the power game with Ham. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. C.J. Ham taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. Well, Charles, they had the comfortable lead, and now it's even more comfortable. Another score here in the 4th quarter to grow that lead.
But I think your initial reaction is surprise when you see a team piling it on this late in a blowout. But there are plenty of coaches who also think that if you pull up completely and stop trying to play the game, it shows disrespect to their opponent. So they don't want to embarrass them. They continue to let their players go for it.
Joseph connects on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
On 1st and 10, Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The offense on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 5.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. Now the ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And I don't know that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Cook up the gut, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And this one is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Saints will have the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow. Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches, as a general rule, that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at their 38. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Open man is the tight end Troutman. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This is complete to Michael Thomas.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Jameis now on 1st down.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston back to Kamara for another catch. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now Winston. Flush to his right. And Thomas has it. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
They'll throw again. Winston. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Kamara up the middle. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Jameis to throw it. Dancing to his left. Got an open man. It's Olave. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. We knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
Now Winston on 4th down. And that will be incomplete. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but he's out of bounds. And a good thing, too, probably. That would have cost him yardage. And now they'll get the ball back on the turnover on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Brandon, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission.
I think you took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Check 56. Hey, let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
2nd down and 4.
56. 3 buzz. 56 is Mike. 56 is Mike.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Again, it's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that